Ram Ram everyone. Welcome to Enthusiastic Spiritual Series. Let's welcome Shiv Kumar ji to give us a discourse on Bhagavad Gita based on Swami Ramanand teachings. Welcome Bhaiya and thank you all for joining us today.
Shri Ram Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Welcome to you all joining this session and Ram Ram to everybody. We are at verse number 2.13 of second chapter, that is transcendental knowledge, Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya Yoga is regarding the knowledge of soul. That is, what is the nature of soul, how it behaves. So, what is it made of, and everything about soul. So, we are not just body, we are living within body, and we are soul. For that, the same has been described here. Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantar prapti dhirastatra namuhyati. Dehino asmin, in this body, dehino asmin, in this body, yatha dehe kaumaram yavanam jara, like in this body, kaumaram, the childhood is there, and yavanam, adulthood is there, and after that jara, that is old age. So in this body only, childhood, adulthood, and old age comes. Yatha kaumaram yavanam jara tatha dehantar prapti. In a similar manner, deh antar prapti. In a similar manner, the soul leaves this body when this body is unfit to be further pulled on. So if this body is useless, becomes useless for the soul, then it switches over, it transfers. So it is a transition. So such kind of changeover of body takes place. Tatha dehantar prapti. In a similar manner, we change our body. Dhiras tatra namuhyati. So those person who are knowledgeable, who knows this, they are not deluded. They do not get deviated, or they do not wail for it. The literal translation is like, as our childhood, youth, and decay to an embodied being in this body, similar is the acquisition of another body. And this being so, an intelligent person does not get deluded. Now, with immaculate logic, Sri Krishna establishes the principle of transmigration of soul. How soul transmigrate from one body to other. In this manner only we have come here up to the human age, human race. We were earlier from very lower creatures. There we have acquired knowledge, and after acquiring knowledge from various different species, now we have come to human race. Within human race also, we have acquired the knowledge of various races, various regions, and various religions also, and now we are here. This is called transmigration. This soul changes its body. With immaculate logic, Sri Krishna establishes the principle of transmigration of soul from lifetime to lifetime. So from one lifetime in a body to other lifetime in some other body. He explained that in one lifetime itself, in this lifetime only, we know that we are in childhood. So within a span of 7 years, the most of the cell, that is the 100% of the cells are changing. 100% cell changes within 7 years of span. And cells are made of molecules. So within 7 years of span, 99.9% of molecules are changing. But we know that we are same. Who is he? Who knows after such a great change, after 7 years, then also we know that no, I am same. So it is due to that we are not body, we are soul. We are living in this body. As house changes, house renovates, but the owner knows that this is my house. In the similar manner, we all are using this body. We are not bodies. So if some person moves from one body, one house to other house, so we are not willing. At certain times we becomes happy that that person is shifting to some higher body, higher house. In the similar manner, if somebody dies, then we should not wail, because it is only a transmigration from one body to next higher level of body. So we should uh, have such an outlook towards this transmigration of soul. It is only for evolution. It is only for the progress. It is not a punishment. And if we keep on pulling in our old age, then what could we learn from it? Like in a train, a child was also there and an old person was also there. So the child has told, see father, how reddish is the sun looking at morning. So father has told, yes, yes, it is quite reddish. And the old person has said, what is new in this? It is red since long, there is nothing new. So when we become old, then our life has less excitement. There is very less to get learned. So soul cannot get refined from older age. So it switches over so that a new energetic body is acquired in this. So this is transmigration is required, because we, it is only time pass, we cannot get very much from old age. So he explains that in one lifetime itself we change bodies from childhood. So Lord is explaining this to maturity, youth to maturity, and then to old age. In fact, modern science informs that during this change from childhood to youth, most of the body cells and the composition changes. So here particularly all cells of body changes. Further, the molecules within the cell changes even more rapidly with every breath we inhale. So even after every breathe we are changing, we are taking oxygen and liberating CO2. So we are taking 2 liters of oxygen in every breath and breathing out CO2. In this only a kind of large chemical transformation is there. So here is such a great change, but we could not notice. We keep on reminding that we are this body only. So here, and molecules that we therefore log within the cells are released as carbon dioxide. Scientists estimate that this in 1 year's time, about 98% of bodily molecules changing. Within 1 year only 98% are changing. So in this, the spiritual soul seated within it. We are seated and the body is just overflowing with us. Like on a stone, water keep on overflowing and stone gets shiny. So it is the refinement of soul. Why we are, bodies are slipping over it. We are at the same place, but bodies are slipping over it. and ultimately water like slips over stone and it becomes ultimately shiny, and after that it is worthy to get worshipped. So in similar manner, for refinement of soul, as it has detached from its Lord, so to whatever is the ego-ness is there and the other impurity has attached on the soul, to remove that, bodies are slipping on it and various odd and even circumstances are coming within our life. So make it purified, make soul refined. So, and it is also necessary to make it feel that we are not just like a material body, we are something beyond this. So the spiritual soul seated within it, the word deh means the body and dehi. We are not the deh, we are dehi. That we are inhibitor, we are the person living within it. So the word dehi has been used for soul. So that is the possessor of body, we possess the body and we utilize this body for our refinement. And when the house becomes older, then either we leave it or we treat it, we renovate it. So in the similar manner, medical treatments are there. Still, if it is not fit, then soul do not live in it prolong, it just transmigrates to next new body. There may be some period of waiting between transmigration from one body to other body, and when other suitable class or body is meeting, then only it switches over to this. It is not that that soul is living and another body is ready, because when a sixth person student is moving to seventh standard after getting passed in it, then there may be period of waiting. So the soul will only be shifted to next higher class. It is not that any random body it will be accommodated. So it is living. It is not that, because we are in a progress. So we during that period of transmigration, that is the intermediate period when it is waiting. So all the scenes of previous, all the bodies, it is not that only one body, are coming in front of it. And there, like after examination, we are again referring those questions, what we have done, the answer would maybe this, and the next time we would do like this and that will be better. In the similar fashion, the previous all experiences, whatever happened in previous life. So this intermediate period after leaving the body, the soul reminds all those things that that might be better. Within the body, or I could not recognize, but after the body, soul thinks, no, in the next body, I will do this, I will do that. So our progress will be more. So then it goes to next body, and with some more determination, with a new esteem of progress, new kind of energy for its further progress. So, Shri Krishna draws Arjun's attention to the fact that since the body is constantly changing, in one lifetime itself, the soul passes through many bodies. Similarly, at the time of death, it passes into another body. So you should not wail about it that Dronacharya and our grandsire Bhishma will be killed in this. You should not wail. It is a trend. It is inevitable. For that, you should not feel sorry. And they have to leave this body. So whoever is born has to die. So this is the cycle of life. Actually, what we term as death in worldly parlance is merely the soul discarding the old dysfunctional body, and what we call birth in the soul taking on a new body elsewhere. So death is nothing but it is the interchanging of body. It is only our promotion to next higher class. like our child is transferring or promoted from 6th standard to 7th standard. It is not a point of way, it is a point of happiness. In the similar manner for soul, it is there, though the persons who are attached with it. So it is only our attachment, it is our dependence, or it is the gain we are expecting from those persons, from those sons, or other relatives. We are expecting some gains. For that we are waiting. It is not for them we are waiting, it is for us, because a part of our ego has shattered. So for that we are waiting. So to shatter our ego or some other the things which are not desired within us, and this departure is necessary. So this is the principle of reincarnation. So why we reincarnate, very beautifully Shri Krishna has explained in this verse 2.13. Now next verse is 2.14. Matra sparshastu kaunteya शीतोष्ण सुख दुःखदा आगमपायिनो नित्यातांस्तितिक्षस्व भारत matra sparshastu kaunteya. That is matra sparsh astu kaunteya, O son of Kunti. Kaunteya, that is the address to Arjun. So Lord Krishna is telling, O son of Kunti, O Kaunteya, matra sparshah tu. So that is the contact of the senses. So when the senses like our eyes, ears, nose, tongue, or our skin, it makes a contact with stimuli, something that which stimulates it, which make it to respond. Like fire makes the finger to respond, cold water makes the finger to respond, cold breeze is coming, then our skin responds. In the similar manner, some other smells for which we are responding, some beautiful scenes, our eyes are responding, for good songs, melody, our ears are responding. So there are these senses, and these are responding to various stimuli. Matra sparsha tu kaunteya shitoshna dukha dukkada, shitoshna sukha dukkada. So these are Sheet Ushna. They are responding to Sheet Ushna, that is winter and hotness, summer. For them it is responding Sukha Dukkada, and these are responding. So if something is favorable, if it is better suited to these our senses, to these our indriya, that is senses is known as indriya. So when it is better suited outer atmosphere, then we feel comfortable, it is sukh, it is happiness. And if something is odd, which is not better suited to us, if pungent smell is there, then we feel it bad. If some cacophonic sound is there, then we do not feel it. Or some scene which is not so calm, so pure, so serene, so pious, then also we do not feel it good. So various odd circumstances are there which gives us that is sorrow, and if it is better suited circumstances, then we feel happy. So matra sparsha sukonteya sheet ushna sukha dukkada. So they are only giving us happiness or sorrow. Agama apaino nitya, agam apaino anitya. So these are only coming and going. Agam apaino anitya, and these are not eternal. These are ephemeral. They will die in seconds. So you should not see that these are eternal and they are longing last. It is not so. So these happiness of senses are ephemeral. These are not long lasting. Tan titikshasva bharata. Tan. So to them tolerate. Bharata. O descendant of Bharat. All were the descendant of King Bharat. So, as Sanjaya has addressed Bharat to Dhritarashtra in a similar manner, Arjun was also a descendant of the great King Bharat of that is Kuruvansh. Kuru was also a great king, but Kuruvansh, it was all Kuruvanshi. In midway of that dynasty, there was also a great king, that is Bharat. Bharat. So King Bharat, on that name only, our India is named as Bharat. So that was so great king that we were called Bharat. And the descendant of that Kuruvansh was Arjun, and also the descendant of intermediate king Bharat. That's why Shri Krishna is telling him as Bharat, so to bear them. So these are the happiness and sorrowness of senses are not long lasting. For them, you should not deviate, and you should tan titikshasva. You have to tolerate it, you have to bear it. So this in the following verse, that is what Shri Krishna is in the earlier verse, he was telling that yatha kaumaram yauvanam jara and tatha dehantar prapti, we are transmigrating from one body. And in next verse, Shri Krishna is telling like this. So is there any connection between them? Here Shri Krishna is telling that matra sparsha supanti are ephemeral, and these pleasures and that is pleasures and sorrowness of senses, it is ephemeral and you have to bear it. Let us see it. So the literal meaning is that, but the context of organ with the objects are the producers of cold and heat. It is our senses which produces coldness and heatness, happiness and sorrow. They have a beginning and the end. And the transient, it is for a period of few moments. Bear them, O descendant of Bharat. So, O descendant of Bharat, bear them. The human body houses five senses. That is the senses of sight, smell, taste, touch, and hearing. All these in contact with their object of perception. So their concerns are different objects. So eyes cannot respond to sweet smell. So there are the object of perceptions for them. They are responding. So give rise to sensation of happiness and distress. So sensation of, and also the same thing makes happier to somebody, but to other it may be distressful. The same cinema to a person highly indulged in material world makes him happy, but for a spiritual person he may not be interested in that cinema. Yamisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagrati sanyami yasyam jagrati bhutani sanisha pasyato mune. What is day for everybody is night for a spiritual person, and whatever is night for a spiritual person is day, because their object of interest are different. So that's why it is said in night yogis are doing their upasana, their dhyan, their meditation, but everybody is sleeping, and whatever is point of interest for that the yogi, it is for them it is night. So in the similar manner, the same object, one is getting happiness, however the other is getting sorrow. This is also there. So we cannot say the outer objects, the material worlds are having happiness or sorrow. Otherwise the same thing may have equally happy to everybody, but it is also not seen. For the sofa set, somebody becomes comfortable, but the Ambani and very rich person, that is, they do not feel it comfortable. So such is there. Now None of these sensations is permanent. They come and go like the changing seasons. Although the cool water, even when first we encounter something which makes us happier, the first roshogulla, the first rasgulla makes us happier, but the next one does not make even of the same extent. And if we keep on eating rasagulla, then it becomes sorrowful, and we now disgrace it. So it is that it has a limited happiness. Up to a limited quantity, it can give happiness. But if we keep on running for it, then the happiness ends. So, but we want ultimate happiness. It is for ultimate happiness, because we are the spark of Lord. So we are seeking for ultimate happiness. That's why we switch over from one thing to other thing. And after that, when we are not getting happiness, then the soul leaves all these things. It is the experiencing. It is the experience soul is taking from these. When there is no ultimate happiness, then we go to the we submit ourselves, surrender to the feet of God, that you are only ultimate happiness. We are not getting an happiness in these things. Like one king was there and he came to minister's house. Minister has not gone to that court that of king. So king came to minister house. Minister was also not at that time in his house. His wife was there. So king has inquired, where is minister? That wife till just he has gone outside and he is about to come. Please sit on this mattress. King has told, no, I am okay. I am fine. I will wait. I will wait standing. So now wife has just thought that it is not a mattress on which a king will sit. Okay, now you sit in that stool. That will be better. I think that will. Please sit. No, I am better. I am comfortable. I keep standing. I may wait in this situation. So I can wait in this situation. But wife was thinking that king has came and he is not sitting. Let us make comfortable with more cushion. So he keep on changing and improving the quality of the seat. But king every time denied to sit on that. Meanwhile, minister came. So both had a short talk. After that, king departed. The complete instance was astonishingly described by wife to me, his husband, that king was not sitting. Raja to baithta na tha. So that minister has said to wife that how can a king sit on something seat which is not suited to him, which is not his level. In the similar manner, king cannot sit in any stool or in anything. When he gets thrown, then only he will sit. In the similar manner, our soul cannot get happiness from any of the ordinary or random thing. It can get the happiness from the submission at the feet of God only, because it is only better suited. Until unless it is embraced by God, until unless it is submitted to God, and until unless it is submerged to God, how can it get happiness? So it is the indication that these things are ephemeral and soul cannot get happiness in any of the things. So it is better for us, because we are the seekers of ultimate happiness. हम अनंत पथ के गामी हैं और हम इस प्रकार से छोटी छोटी चीजों में आनंदित हो भी नहीं सकते. So if we permit ourselves to be affected by them, we will be swayed away like a pendulum from side to side. A person of discrimination should practice to tolerate both of the feeling of happiness and distress without being disturbed by them. So such practices are done by Tibetan inhabitants, that is follower of Buddha. They are living in a short tent, very small tent, years and years. So they were meditating within it, and with a very few clothes wearing. They are even that harsh cold, and they are bearing it. And ultimately, they are not affected by it. I have seen in Ladakh that people have practiced the cold, and even very few clothes, they are very comfortably living. So their body ultimately enables them to bear it. However, we were, when in Air Force, we were wearing so many clothes and labadas, overalls, but still feeling cold. So these things, if we have practiced over it, cannot make us effective or respond. So a person of discrimination should practice to tolerate both the feelings of happiness and distress without being disturbed. The technique of vipassana, this is called, that is, it is only the technique of vipassana, which is primary technique of self-realization in Buddhism. And after that, when outer atmosphere, outer surrounding, outer environment cannot affect us, then the journey of within us get started. It is not for us. We are having a different stream, whatever our Swamiji said. But as per Gita, because there are many yogas are there, so we should follow our path. But it is also a technique for which Sri Krishna is telling that after the vipassana, when they are not affected by us, this weather, then their inner journey starts. For us, Swamiji has said we should not give any kind of the toughness or any kind of cost to our body. We should not make our body to suffer by any kind of fast breath. If this body is also bestowed us to by our Lord, so we should not exploit it, but we have to keep it healthy and proper, so that because our soul is within us, which is a spark of our deity. So in this way we should treat this, and we should it is also not an object of getting happiness. We should keep it healthy, and we should make our progress in the similar manner. So here in this verse, it is told that the technique of vipassana, which is the primary technique of self-realization in Buddhism, is based on this principle of tolerance of sense perception. Its practice helps eliminate desire, and ultimately, when there is nothing, we are out of senses. Your senses does not respond. Even there are some person who are keep giving their hands in fire, and ultimately for some time, and ultimately their hand do not respond to fire. They are keeping their hand to cold. So when there is no kind of experience of senses, when the senses die, at that time they have no desire of happiness or sorrow, because now the senses cannot respond, and all the happiness and senses are due all happiness and sorrow are due to these senses. So they try to die their senses, and ultimately when the senses cannot respond to happiness, then they have no desire, and their journey for inner self starts. But these senses are ours. These senses are bestowed us by our Lord. So we should, whatever books are given, whatever their topics are, their interest, so they should learn their lesson. Why we should bother about them? And they are keep learning their lessons. We should progress. We should have our objective ultimately to submit ourselves to God, and these senses with its potential will submit to God also, because Saul is the master of all these servants. Saul is the master of our mental capacity. Saul is the master of our brain. Saul is the master of senses. When Saul is perceiving something, these have to ultimately with tight-handed, holded hands, they have to serve the soul. Please tell me, sir, where we have to sit. So such is the condition. मन तेरा मंदिर, आंखें दिया बाती, होठों की है तालियां, बोल फूल पाती, रोम रोम जिह्वा तेरा नाम पुकारती, आरती हो मैया आरती. So then this body becomes temple of Lord. It is worthy that our Lord resides within us. When our part and parcel रोम रोम तन करे आरती, राम राम की हो झनकार. So our every particle, every kan, every anu, every cell, every koshika ultimately sings the song of Rama. So it is the capacity we have to keep them alive and keep them phase reversal towards Lord. So such is the capacity when we enjoy with our full happiness, with harbingers of that happiness, the Ram Nam Dhun. So we should not die or condemn any of the capacity or potential which is bestowed to us by our Lord. भगवान के दी गई ये जो हमारे शरीर में मन है, हृदय है, बुद्धि है, और इस तरीके से जो हमारी इंद्रियां हैं, इनमें से किसी की भी भर्त्सना हमारे द्वारा नहीं की जानी चाहिए, क्योंकि इनमें भी वो संभावना है कि वे इंद्रियों की ओर झुक जाएं, क्योंकि इंद्रियां इनका प्रतिनिधित्व करती है और अंत में ये सभी नौकर इंद्रियों की ओर सबमिट कर जाते हैं, समर्पित हो जाते हैं और भगवान की ही आराधना करने लगते हैं. ऐसे समय में जैसे मंदिर में घंटे होते हैं, मंदिर में दिए होते हैं, मंदिर में स्तंभ होते हैं, सब जीवंत होते हैं, वैसे ही ये पूरा शरीर एक मंदिर हो जाता है और आराधना के योग्य हो जाता है. तो हमें किसी भी जो संभावना है उसका नाश नहीं करना है, उसकी मृत्यु नहीं करनी है और उसको किसी प्रकार से निंदा नहीं करनी है. ये भगवान के द्वारा दिया गया है और हमें इसी में ही उस भगवान को उतार लेना है. कैसे? समर्पण के द्वारा. नाउ आवर रिस्पेक्टेड सिस्टर गीता जायसवाल जी विल रिसाइट ए भजन फॉर अस. आवाज नहीं आ रही गीता जी. हाँ
पियानो. राम राम. श्री राम. हमसे प्रभु जी दूर नहीं है, ना उनसे हम दूर हैं, ना उनसे हम दूर हैं. जैसा चाहे वैसा रखें, हमको तो मंजूर है, हमको तो मंजूर है, हमको तो मंजूर है. उसने हमको जन्म दिया है, वो ही हमको पालेगा, हर हालत में आकर हमको वो ही तो संभालेगा. उसकी है ये सारी सृष्टि, सब में उसका नूर है, सब में उसका नूर है. जैसा चाहे वैसा रखे, हमको तो मंजूर है, हमको तो मंजूर है. एक भरोसा करके उस पर उसकी हम मान लें, मिथ्या है संसार ये सारा, ये सच्चाई जान ले. उसकी पूजा उसकी भक्ति करनी हमें जरूर है, करनी हमें जरूर है. जैसा चाहे वैसा रखें, हमको तो मंजूर है, हमको तो मंजूर है. किसमें है कल्याण हमारा, ये तो वो ही जाने है. धूप छाँव दुख दर्द हमारे, वो ही तो पहचाने है। दया दृष्टि उस परम पिता की हम सब पर भरपूर है, हम सब पर भरपूर है। जैसा चाहे वैसा रखें, हमको तो मंजूर है, हमको तो मंजूर है। जो भी दे प्रसाद समझ कर प्रेम से हमको पाना है। बंगला दे या दे झोपड़ी, रह के हमें निभाना है। देता सबको यथा योग वो, ये उसका दस्तूर है, ये उसका दस्तूर है। जैसा चाहे वैसा रखें, हमको तो मंजूर है, हमको तो मंजूर है। जन्म लिया तो मरना होगा, जीवन की ये सच्चाई। काल चक्र कब कैसे मारे, जान सका न कोई भाई। कठपुतली के खेल में देखो, हम सब तो मजबूर हैं, हम सब तो मजबूर हैं। जैसा चाहे वैसा रखें, हमको तो मंजूर है, हमको तो मंजूर है। हमसे प्रभु जी दूर नहीं है, ना उनसे हम दूर हैं, ना उनसे हम दूर हैं। जैसा चाहे वैसा रखें, हमको तो मंजूर है, हमको तो मंजूर। श्री राम।
श्री राम। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। न तो हम कामये राज्यं न स्वर्गं न पुनर्भवं, कामये दुःखतप्तानां प्राणिनामार्तनाशनं। त्वदिष्टं भवतु गोविन्द, त्वदिष्टं भवतु गोविन्द, नतमदिष्टं पाहि मां रक्ष मां। तेरी इच्छा पूर्ण हो माँ, हम सब तेरी शरण में हैं, अपने चरणों की भक्ति दो माँ। श्री राम।
बहुत बहुत प्यार आशीर्वाद शिव कुमार। बहुत ही सुंदर मिलन विज्ञान के द्वारा जीव विज्ञान, बायोलॉजी और अध्यात्म गीता का मेल करा के 13वें श्लोक में बिल्कुल ऐसा लग रहा था जैसे साइंस के साथ गीता समझा रहे हो। बहुत अच्छा, बहुत बहुत प्यार आशीर्वाद।
राम राम
राम राम
राम राम सबको।
कुमार भैया भी बोली, भजन भैया भी कितना अच्छा बोली।
राम राम गीता आंटी, राम राम कुसुम आंटी, राम 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 राम। Thank you, Bhaiya. It was a wonderful session. And thank you, Geeta aunty, for the beautiful bhajan. Any questions anybody has for Bhaiya? If not, you can even message us and we can share it with Bhaiya. Thank you, Bhaiya. Thank you all again.